Guess I get to see it with my own eyes. Jackpot. Devil May Cry.
What's up guys, it's RBG doing a follow-up on a video I made a few days ago, and it's regarding the recent change of Devil May Cry's timeline. During a stream on the official Capcom channel, we recently discovered that Devil May Cry 2, the game that was for the longest time at the tail end of the DMC timeline, is now being placed before the events of DMC 4, which made a lot of fans, including myself, do a double take. So we're going to talk about that today. But before we do that, I want to remind you that this video is sponsored by Kooky Gamer. Since you guys have supported this channel, I've linked up with Kooky Gamer to give you their free gaming mouse. It features a high FPS rate, 7 different switches such as the back and forward buttons, an adjustable DPI, micro switches back with LED lights, and much more. To top things off, we're also throwing in brand new super bass earbuds which you can order in either black or white. The shipping and handling averages around $5 depending on your location. The link will be in the description box below, so make sure you jump on it while the offer lasts. But as I was saying, the developers behind DMC and the Capcom team have been making some very strange moves regarding the series canon. One of the earliest instances of strange adjustments we've gotten is the subtle change in Morrison's ethnicity, and his inclusion in DMC 5 pretty much confirms that the anime is a part of the Devil May Cry chronology. I know that there's a good majority of fans who were thrown off by that change, like there were comments on how the anime's existence in the timeline was no more due to Morrison's color change, but I can reassure you that the anime is still for the most part still canon. The director Hideaki Itsuno has mentioned it in a lot of interviews, and there's recently been a cutscene floating around confirming that Morrison isn't the only character from the anime who will be featured in DMC 5. Recently, another video from one of the cutscenes in DLC 5 surfaced showing Dante and Morrison discussing info on the new client, and some of the dialogue featured a cameo from a prominent character from the Devil May Cry anime. Take a look.
Devil May Cry.
Dante, do you have any idea how many times I've tried to call? Like a zillion. Oh my god, tonight's my birthday party. Yeah, I'm turning 18. Not a little kid.
So for those of you who can't tell, that's Patty Lau from Devil May Cry the animated series. She was a young girl at the time who was actually introduced to Dante through Morrison as a new client, and hires Dante to protect her to receive her inheritance from the Lau estate. But she later finds out that she's being used as a decoy by the actual heir to the Lau fortune. It just so turns out that she's actually the descendant of a powerful devil sorcerer and an alchemist. It's kind of crazy that everyone Dante works with has some kind of crazy association with the demon realm. But anyways, this cutscene is kind of a direct callback to Mission 1 of the anime, because you have Morrison introducing Dante to V, but before that he gets a call from Patty reminding him that she's going to be celebrating her 18th birthday.
Brat.
Sorry, young lady. Maybe in 10 years or so, I'll ask you on a date.
And I'll tell you no in 10 seconds. Me, I'm only into younger guys.
Huh? I thought my strawberry sundae would be delivered here by the time I got out of the shower.
That strawberry sundae?
What? Hey, that was mine! What the hell do you think you're doing? This is my place! Let's get this straight. My place. Mine.
It was totally filthy and dorky, so I cleaned it and did some cute decorating.
Cute's a relative term. I'm more concerned about my goddamn dessert.
That's what I charge for my work. Thanks. It was the best sundae ever.
Some things just never change, like her constantly getting on Dante's last nerve. And this just shows you how long it's been since Dante has been running the Devil May Cry business. Like, it's been over almost 2 decades. So far we've gotten callbacks like Nell Goldstein from the Devil May Cry novel, who's been confirmed to be Nico's grandmother, and now we have Morrison and Patty from the anime. But getting back on the main topic, a lot of fans weren't sure what to make of the new video rearranging the chronology. Almost everything pretty much remains the same except Devil May Cry 2's spot, which is now placed before the events of part 4. And there's been fans who like this change, and there have been others who have been downright pissed about it. On one end, you have fans saying that it makes sense to place it in this new spot because Dante's melancholic personality in part 2 sort of turns over into DMC 4, where he's somewhat serious at the beginning of the game. I think that's a bit of a stretch because you gotta remember, during the flashback where it showed Dante getting ready to embark on his mission in Fortuna, he's totally normal as we've seen him in DMC 3 and 1. He's kicked back, laughing and eating pizza with Trish and Lady. It just doesn't look like he was serious or depressed. The dude was literally just smirking and being awfully observant. So let's just throw that out of the window. Another thing that they say is that Dante has been depressed since the anime, and it really kicks in by the time DMC2 happens. Once again, I don't really see the so-called depression. He acts like he's been acting since DMC1. I just chalked it up to the fact that they didn't know what to do with DMC2. Just looking at how they were rushing through it in the actual recap shows. And there are still some fans who don't believe it has been rearranged in the timeline. But that has been confirmed in a tweet by the producer, Matt Walker, stating that they did in fact change the order and that DMC4 now takes place after DMC2. One thing I can say I took from this is that the timeline of 3142 was an actual thing. Because after this whole change, you had fans coming out of the woodwork saying that DMC2 had taken place before DMC4 for years and that nothing was really changed. But as you can see, Matt Walker says that it's officially been changed. So take of that what you will. What I will say is that I can think of one reason why DMC2 could fit between 1 and 4, and it's supported by a brief conversation between Nero and Kratos in DMC4. Take a look at this.
Fortuna Castle, huh?
That's what the witnesses said.
Guy just came from hell. He's gotta hit up a couple tourist sites. Guy just came from hell. Guy just came from hell.
Might seem like simple sarcasm, but Nero states that Dante just came back from hell. Not sure if you remember, but the last time we saw Dante in DMC2, he was driving into the dark depths of hell or the demon realm. Many assumed that he was still stuck in the realm, and when DMC5 came out, they wanted to know how he escaped. But I'm guessing the motorcycle engine we heard at the end of DMC2 when Lucia was waiting at the shop was in fact Dante making his return. Now I don't know how Nero knew that Dante came from hell, or if he was just being sarcastic, but that's the only way I can think of DMC2 taking place before the events of 4. It's just so weird how for some reason this game keeps getting avoided when it comes to unanswered questions. It's essentially the red-headed stepchild of the series. If anything, I'm hoping that we get an appearance of Lucia or at least a reference of her whereabouts, and maybe we can get an unlockable version of the DMC2 Dante's suit, since it's by far the most badass version of Dante we've gotten. But this is pretty much the last video I'm gonna do pertaining to this subject. I got a few requests from the last video asking for me to go more in depth on it, and I don't think there's anything else I can say about it. The once OP version of Dante has now been nerfed and is now weaker than DMC4 Dante. What I will say is that after DMC5 is all said and done and Hideaki Itsuno wants to work on another Devil May Cry project, fans like myself would absolutely love to get a remake of Devil May Cry 2. Maybe he could rework the gameplay since he was barely on the original project to begin with, and he could give the story a facelift to properly fit the DMC canon. But that's just my wishful thinking. Anyways, I want to know what you guys think. Do you think this is the right move? And how would you like a DMC2 remake? Let me know down in the comments below. As always, I ask that you like or dislike the video. It doesn't have to be a thumbs up, it can be a thumbs down. Any feedback is good feedback and will only help me improve on my channel. But if you really enjoyed the video, it would help me out tremendously if you shared it on social media outlets with all your friends and followers. Sharing really makes a difference. But this is your boy RBG signing out on another video. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.